Hey guys, Gregory Bennett here. Just wanted to do a quick webinar to get us ready for 2026. I do think 2026 is going to be a big year. Interest rates are moving downward in the right direction. I think a lot of sellers, home sellers, going to come off the fence. With the rates coming down, buyers are going to be able to afford more houses. And so, for those reasons, I think for the investor, we're going to turn into a great fix and flip market, always good for buying and holding. And since more investors will be coming into the marketplace, always great for wholesalers. And so I'm just going to go through why I think 2026 is going to be a great year and how to get prepared for it. All right. Why this training really matters. 2026 will reward organized investors. So we've got to get organized. We've got to know what our marketing strategy is, what our investment strategy is, be it wholesaling, fixing and flipping, and buying and holding. Most of you guys should know that I always want you to buy and hold. That's how you build long-term wealth. I just looked at a property that I purchased many, many years ago, about 20 years ago, um, for $50,000. It's a condo. Those condos are selling for over 600,000 now. And so that's why I always feel like buying and holding is the best strategy. So we've got to start preparing ourselves for it. Credit, saving our money. I also feel that in the new year, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for creative financing. And hopefully, I mentioned creative financing in the different strategies in this webinar a number of times because I'm running or we're running up against a lot of opportunities that make for great creative financing deals every week, every single week. We're either putting properties under contract that are either subject to lease option, a lot of lease options, or seller financing every single week. And so we've got to learn how to do that. This training also matters because random deals um, equal random income. So we want to make that income, and a pipeline creates predictable cash flow. Cash flow is king. Cash flow is king to all investing. All investing cash flow is king. And so we want to create a pipeline so that we've got a number of properties generating cash flow. And let's say, for example, you've got 10 properties and each property's generating just on average $1,000 a month with 10 properties. That's $10,000 a month that you can rely on. It's very predictable. And so we've got to start establishing predictable cash flow in 2026. All right, what is a real estate pipeline? It's a pipeline. A pipeline is a system that produces leads. So we got to know how to generate leads. Conversions. So have to know how to convert, and then offers, making offers to contracts to closings. No pipeline, no business. You've got to have a pipeline. You've got to have a consistent pipeline, and you got to work on your pipeline every single day. The more leads that are in your pipelines that you can have conversations with, so leads to conversations. Your KPIs are going to tell you, your key performance indicators are going to tell you that you're going to be able to make more offers, um, be able to write more contracts and have more closings. I think for our PPL strategy, a pay per lead strategy, for about every 20 leads we get, we're able to close at least one of them. For every in the MLS, when we're talking I'm just giving you some examples of some KPIs. When we're talking to either real estate agents or sellers from the MLS, this is from the MLS, about every maybe 50 of them, every 50, and you can talk to 50 a day, we're going to convert to a good conversation and then to offers, then to contracts and the closings, about every 50. And on the MLS, I may repeat this, but on the MLS, we're looking for stale listings, so listings that have been active for at least 30 days or more. We're looking for expired listings and in a few other categories. But again, no pipeline, no business. All right, most investors stay broke. Why? Why do most investors stay broke? No daily prospecting, no follow-up system. And so you have to get a CRM and follow up. We like to say the fortune is in the follow-up. You've got to follow up. One of the best for the investor is propstream.com. I actually use Go High Level, but Podio, there's a number of different Real eFlow. There's a number of different CRMs that will give you great follow-up system. If you're a real estate agent, you have, and especially if you're with my brokerage, you have KV Core, and that makes for a great follow-up system as well. Investors stay broke because no deal tracking and not tracking their deals and no funding plan. What's your funding plan? How are you going to finance your deals when you find them? Do you have some cash? And with creative financing, you probably only need like maybe $10,000 to $20,000 for a good creative financing deal. And no one's looking at your credit. That's one of the great things about creative financing. So you don't need a lot of cash. Ultimately, you are going to want to refinance at some point, be it a DSCR loan or even using hard money to acquire the property. And they are going to look at your credit. So you've got to get your credit score up. But, in the meantime, you can wholesale or use a creative financing strategy to fund your deals. All right. What a six-figure pipeline looks like. 300 to 500 motivated seller leads. Where are you going to get your motivated seller leads? Number of different places. I like lists. So you can get your list from you can get your list off of PropStream, but primarily off of PropWire, propwire.com. You can get a list of motivated sellers there. I can get you 500 motivated sellers off of PropWire absolutely free. My best list that's performed the best is out-of-state absentee owners in a certain zip code or subdivision, geographical location. You can get motivated sellers. 50 to 100 conversations, 20 to 30 offers. These are your KPIs, you guys. These are your key performance indicators. 50 to 100 real conversations out of those leads, 20 to 30 offers, 6 to 10 contracts, 100 plus in profits. Now, 6 to 10 contracts will probably lead you to about 4 to 5 closings. It's all math. It's not luck. It's KPIs, key performance indicators. You've got to know your numbers. And then that's how you start. Okay, if I need to pull 500 motivated sellers, then I'm gonna pull those from PropWire, and then I'm gonna either call them or get a virtual assistant to call, of which that's how we do it. We have a couple virtual assistants out of the Philippines. They make the calls for us with the script, or you can send postcards to them, so direct mail. And for every let's just say for every 1,000 pieces of direct mail, your real conversations are at 1%. So 1% of the 1,000, and then you make your offers, and then you get the rest of your KPIs. All right. The three pillars of pipeline success is lead flow. So you've got to get the leads, and then conversions, follow-up. We've got a great follow-up system that's automated. So as soon as we have a conversation, we plug that person and all their information into our CRM, and then our CRM tags them, and then the automation starts. Text messages, emails, our bot, we have a chat, we have a voice bot that actually calls them. And then our VAs, almost on a daily basis, but a couple times a month, we do a live call. So they call to follow up to try to schedule an appointment. And then execution. So lead flow, conversion, execution. Miss one and income collapses. All right, lead flow. Your 2026 deal sources, pre-foreclosures. And so on PropWire, you can get pre-foreclosures absolutely free in any jurisdiction. Vacant houses, tired landlords. So those are our absentee owners. My preference is out-of-state absentee owners. I've had better luck. You get in-state is fine too, but we've had better luck with out-of-state. Probate is the best. Is make more money with probate. Code violations and driving for dollars. Motivation creates discounts. How many leads do you need? Daily, 10 seller conversations. Monthly, 200 conversations. Deals come from volume and follow-up. The future is in the follow-up. I may have said it already. I'll say it again. That's where investors fail. You need to have 8 to 10 follow-ups. 8 to 10 follow-ups. You got to keep following up. That's where you make your money. You almost never make your money on the first conversation. Almost never. The percentages say that you'll convert the more, put it this way, the more you follow up to 8 follow-ups, the more successful you'll be. So one follow-up is not enough, 2 is not enough. You've got to keep following up. All right, your conversion system, you need good scripts. And we've got great scripts in my toolkit. And so you need scripts, a CRM. I've mentioned CRM. My advice would be PropWire. And we've got a code if you're interested in that to get a discount. A call schedule. And so we have a schedule. We actually meet with our VAs at 9 o'clock every morning, and we give them the schedule. They have the schedule. We go over the schedule. We have a monthly schedule of who they're calling, and then we just kind of go over that and do role playing. Text and email follow-up. You want to put that into some type of CRM, plug them into the CRM, and then let the automation of the CRM automatically do the follow-ups for you. The investor who follows up the most, wins, you guys. The follow-up system that closes deals. Call day 1, text day 2, email day 3, repeat weekly. 80% of deals come from multiple touches. And this is actually your follow-up system. This is your follow-up system. You guys can schedule an appointment with me, gbschedule.com, and I can show you this system in my CRM and how the flow chart looks. I'm happy to do so. But this is the flow, and this is my flow. And this is exactly how it looks. Financing, how deals get funded. 4 ways. Private money, so there's private money lenders, individuals like myself that will lend you money. Hard money lenders, lenders that will finance you temporarily up to a year. Interest rates are a little higher than your traditional financing. Creative financing strategies, subject to seller financing. We're doing a lot of lease options. And then joint ventures. We've got a community. I've got a coaching program, and I have my coaching students do joint ventures or multi-member LLCs together to buy properties, and they've done that. And one may have great credit, not a lot of cash. Other might just be the opposite, bad credit or challenged credit, but a lot of cash. We put individuals together to buy properties. Deals attract money not the other way around. Deal execution. Every deal should have three exit strategies. I'm going to buy a property. I bought a property. I'll just use my Annapolis property. I bought that property with all intentions on flipping that property. Once I finished the project, I said, you know what? I'm going to put it on the market for both for sale and for rent. I had a hard money loan, whichever comes first. And the rent came first. So I rented the property. So I bought and held the property and rented the property, Section 8. My favorite is Section 8. And then I refinanced to a DSCR loan and paid off the hard money lender. Flexibility equals safety and profit. You need different strategies. What if you're trying to wholesale a property and you can't find a cash buyer? What are you going to do? I mean, you can get out the deal. You may have to give up your deposit, but if you had another strategy, that would be a lot easier for you. Deal analyzer. You must always run your numbers. You've got to do the math. Got to do the math. ARV, after repair value. We call it the Mayo formula, MAO, maximum allowable offer. We take 70% of the after repair value minus repair costs. Unless you're a wholesaler, then we take 65% of the after repair value minus repair costs. And so we're analyzing the deals. We're looking at holding costs. How much money is it going to take you to hold the property, holding costs? And so if you're dealing with a hard money lender, they're going to want a monthly payment. That's part of your holding costs. We try to deal with hard money lenders where there's no payment. Also utilities. You got to pay utilities while you have the property. That's part of your holding costs. And then again, your exit strategy. You're going to hold it, flip it. What are you going to do? No numbers equal no confidence. You've got to know all your numbers. You've got to buy it right. Number one mistake that investors make is buying the property wrong. All right, weekly investor schedule, prospecting, looking for deals, following up, appointments. Let's go on appointments. I try to go on appointments every day. And so my schedule is set for noon to 5. Noon to 5, you can go onto my scheduler and schedule an appointment. I schedule my appointments from noon to 5, which means every day, all morning long, I'm out in the field. I'm running appointments in the field all morning long. And then I use my afternoons to meeting with my agents, meeting with my investors, things like that. But I set aside my mornings to go on appointments with motivated sellers to make offers. And so I want to look at the property, assess it, and right in real time make an offer. I don't say, well, Mr. and Miss Seller, I'm going to go back to my office, run the numbers, and I'll call you. No, I don't want another investor sneaking in and taking my deal. In real time that morning, I am making an offer. I'm assessing. I already know going in what the ARV is, after repair value. I'm assessing repair costs. I'm also asking them a lot of questions. What's your mortgage balance? Why do you want to sell? What's your monthly payment? What's your interest rate? Because I want to see, my first thought is, how can I buy this property creatively? I want to know their mortgage balance, their motivation. I just got off the phone before doing this webinar, and I asked the motivated seller, I said, I see you want to sell your property. How much do you want to walk away with? They said $20,000. That alone told me I can do I can do a subject to on this, pay them $20,000, and then possibly take over their mortgage. And so that's why you ask those kind of questions. And that $20,000, I don't necessarily even have to give them the $20,000 up front. I can say, well, I'll give you 5,000 up front, and I'll make monthly payments of 1,000 until I reach. Or I actually did a deal, not to confuse you. I did a deal a week ago where I offered them 15,000, but my offer was, I'll give you 5,000 now when we sign the contract, when we go to closing, I'll give you another 5,000 in 12 months and another 5,000 12 months after that to equal 15,000, and they took it. And so you can structure your deals any way you want. Um, you also want to network. I just had a networking luncheon yesterday. You want to learn as much as you can. And networking is important, you guys. You can't do this by yourself. You've got to network with other investors. And that's one of the things I said I'm going to do in 2026. There was a time years ago where I said I'm going to take a millionaire to lunch every month, pick his brain. They ended up picking my brain, but I'm going to be more conscious of that um, in the new year of going to lunch with different sets of people to learn as much as I can. And even if I treat, here's how I look at it. I could pay 50 to $100 for lunch, whatever it is. Is that worth getting enough information to do a deal where I'm going to make $100,000? Would you spend $100 for lunch to make $100,000 in the future on one little nugget that somebody gives you? The answer is yes, it's worth it. Take somebody to lunch this coming Friday. 90-day pipeline plan. In 90 days, 50 leads, 100 conversions, 30 offers, 10 contracts, and 3 to 5 deals. That's how it works, you guys. These are your numbers. I'm running through this quickly, but these are your numbers. These are your numbers, and this is what you've got to get to. And these numbers work, you guys. All right, the mindset shift. You are not a hobbyist or a dreamer. I disagree with that. You can be a dreamer. I do want you to dream. Dream your biggest dreams, but just make sure you take action. Make sure those dreams come to fruition. But I do want you to dream. I do a lot of dreaming. You're a deal maker, but it is a mindset. As I said, I had lunch yesterday, and one of the guys I met with, I was explaining to him creative financing. And the gentleman said, "Well, why would the seller just allow you to take over their mortgage? Why would the seller lease you the property now and let you buy it 2 or 3 years from now?" And I said, these buyers are motivated. They're looking for a solution. And sometimes the solution is not a traditional solution. And sometimes these solutions are better than a traditional solution. But it's all a mindset. We can talk ourselves out of success. We can talk ourselves out of building wealth with just our mind. And we've got to get over how these sellers are thinking, because there's nothing that I'm saying in this webinar or will ever say that is original. Like, seller finance has been around forever. Subject to agents, real estate agents, they were doing subject to, not let alone investors, when I first got into the market in the 90s. They were doing that. That was the investment strategy of the day. It was again a buyer's market, lots of short sales. Sellers were having a hard time selling their properties. They were looking for solutions. So if an investor or a real estate agent went to them and said, "Why don't you sell your house subject to the existing mortgage, allowing a investor just to take over your mortgage," they were doing that. It's similar to assuming somebody's mortgage. Why do you assume someone's mortgage? It's a solution. So keep that in mind. Uh, as investors, we're out here to make deals. We are, but we're also out here to solve motivated sellers' problems. All right, write down this right now. 2026 income goal. What is it? Deals per month. How many deals per month? At least one. Lead source to dominate. What's your lead source going to be? Is it direct mail? Is it the MLS on market? Is it calling, cold calling, networking? Whatever it is, write that down. And your first action tomorrow, write it down, write it down. What's your first action? What are you going to do? What are you going to do tomorrow to be successful? All right. How can we help you succeed? Let me know. I mean, we've got a full community. We do a lot of webinars. I've got courses, wholesaling courses. You can go to BBC Wholesaling to get my wholesale course. We've got a platinum coaching program that I'll talk about in a second. Like, how can we help you? We can help you in all categories with leads, scripts. I've got a toolkit that has contracts, scripts, everything in it, everything that you need. Um, Funding, we've got private lenders, we've got hard money lenders, we've got your traditional lenders that are doing DSCR loans. We've got people within our coaching community that will happy to partner with you. And then, of course, we've got the coaching. And so just know that in 2026, you are not alone, and you can't do this by yourself. You need help. I mean, you just need help. You need to be a part of somebody's community, hopefully ours, but you're going to thrive. One of our coaching students bought either 3 or 4 houses last year, and she's going to probably do the same thing. And a number of most of our coaching students last year bought and held a property, and a number of them wholesaled a property. I push buying and holding, um, so a lot of them did that, but also wholesaled some properties as well. And so right now, and so today's what, December the 30th, we have a coaching program, you guys, that is $3,000, 2997. Within our program, I actually guarantee you that we'll help you find it. If you do everything that you're supposed to do, we will definitely, definitely, definitely help you find a deal. Let me go to it real quick. I think it's right here. All right. So you can go to BBC Platinum, um, BBC Platinum until the end of the year, until the end of 2025. If you're looking at this a little late, I'll honor these prices up until the end of January. But through the end of July, it's $29.97. You can make 3 payments of $12.50. Come January 1st, though, our prices go up to $5,000. And you can make payments. You can make any kind of payments, honestly. You can go through Affirm, Klarna, or Amazon Pay. Um, you can make it in 3 payments. You can make monthly payments, go through Amazon Pay, Klarna, or Affirm. Within our coaching program, you're in it for life, so it's a lifetime membership. We go out in the field. I believe that you can only learn so much on our live calls. We have every single week, Tuesday and Wednesday, we have live calls. We have a membership site that we've got over 50 different videos. But you come on to every Tuesday is a Q&A. Wednesday, my brother Keith does his training on scripts and cold calling, how to talk to cash buyers, how to talk to motivated sellers. But we go out in the field every month, at least once a month. We go out in the field, look at 3 or 4 properties that you can actually buy. And a number of our coaching students have bought from our foreclosure tours. Sometimes we'll tour some of my properties, some of our coaching students' properties, and then we'll have a nice lunch and just debrief, network, and go over what we looked at. Talked about my toolkit. In my toolkit, I've got all the scripts, documents, contracts, all the marketing material, everything that you need in terms of all the paperwork. You're put into an accountability group. And so our groups are powerful. They meet on their own once a week. They go out in the field on their own as well. Um, Investor services, if you find a deal, we will hold your hand. We will vet the deal. We'll run the numbers. If you want us to help you negotiate, write the contract, all of that, we'll do all of those things. Again, it's a lifetime program. Unlimited one-on-ones. Just go to my site, my scheduler, or Keith's, and you'll have a one-on-one. Again, $29.97 or 3 payments of $12.50. It's going up. What's that? Thursday. It's going up on Thursday. If you looked at this video late and you said, "Look, I looked at the video. You said you would honor the 2025 prices until the end of January, I'm happy to do so. So you can schedule an appointment with me, gbschedule.com. Let me go back here. You can always schedule an appointment with me. You can go to gbschedule.com, or you can go to BBC Platinum, and it'll take you to that site that I was just on, and you can register on your own, or like I said, gbschedule.com. That's it, you guys. Do I have any? Oh, thank you guys. Let's finish 2025 strong, and let's start 2026. And let's just be unstoppable. Let's be unstoppable, you guys. 2026 going to give us a lot of great opportunity. I'm trying to stop share. How do I stop my share? I don't know. Anyway, 2026 will give us a lot of opportunity, but you've got to be an opportunist. You've got to be an opportunist. You got to put yourself in the right position to take advantage of the opportunities that 2026 is giving us. Got to be around the right people to network. You have to be around all the right resources. My guarantee, 2026 is going to be the best year you've ever had. All right, you guys. Greg Bennett signing off. If you would like to schedule an appointment with me, gbschedule.com. Thank you guys for watching this. We'll talk soon.